Hey Muses, welcome back to my channel. Today, we are going to be doing a deep dive into the Tarot Chimera. But hi, hello, and welcome if this is your first time finding my YouTube channel. My name is Tyler, also known as T-Mann Tarot across the interwebs, your favorite tarot deck connoisseur and deck specialist here on the internet. But before we dive into today's video, please make sure that you subscribe, comment, give this video a thumbs up, turn on that notification bell so you do not miss another tarot deck deep dive. But if you want to see the quick down and dirty version, head over to my channel and find the deck review. I'll see if I can link it into this video somewhere on the screen. But yeah, let's just kind of quickly recap and dive into it. Tarot Chimera and Arcana of Odilon Redo by Nitasia Roland. Published by our good friends at Wiser Red Wheel Publishing. Comes in this lovely two-piece tuck box here for us. It says, chimeras are creatures of the imagination that carry dreams away. Little drawstring to help get the cards out of the box. Great for storing in them if that's something that you prefer to do. Lovely, chunky guidebook. Really, a guidebook that you're going to have to sit with. A guidebook to sit with, to process, to kind of go through what the cards are talking about. So yeah, those are just some little quick facets and things about, you know, the packaging and all that. But let's zoom in here. There we go. Woo. The Fool card, I love the bobble-headed Fool here. This kind of big bubbled head, kind of looking out at this little ship. Interesting. The Magician, this is kind of spooky. The head's in a wok or a frying pan. What is it? Oh, backs of the cards. Great card stock, definitely leads to uprights and inversions. The High Priestess. This High Priestess, when I got the preview deck for this, this was the key art that drew me into this deck. The idea of the light coming out of the book here, right? That keys of wisdom lighting up herself even in the darkness, right? Showing that she really knows the information that we need to get to move ourselves forward. I hope you can see that and there isn't too much of a glare here. It is a, oh my God, there is a gloss, like it is a glossy, but there is, you can kind of see that woven, pressed texture. I forget what it's called, but it's also on the Fyodor Pavlov tarot. This helps the shuffle be nice and smooth. Empress in this, like, I don't know if she's diving. It looks like she has like a swimmer's cap on, but very much in this idea of like whatever it is she's doing for herself. The Emperor, playing very much on that same idea as the High Priestess. When I was putting this deck back together, I kind of was like, wait a minute, that's the High Priestess, but nope, it's the Emperor. So this light kind of coming onto the face here is an interesting choice. I'm not necessarily getting full power and control and dominance and things like that, but it's an interesting take. The Hierophant. I love that there is this callback to the hand gesture that we see in the Rider-Waite Smith, the Pamela Coleman Smith illustration. So that hand gesture is really important. to call into as a kind of reminder here. But it's an interesting concept here through this like portal, like, what are you doing? It's kind of giving like the wizard will see you now. Like, how do we get to the person, right? How do we get to this teacher? The Lovers, my least favorite card in this deck, to be honest. It's not really getting to me the idea of choice. Chariot, this is a call to it. It's reminding me of my Gustave Doré deck, which is another art conceptualized tarot deck where the artwork is curated to fit the ideas of a tarot. And that's the thing with me is like, I already have that. So if I'm gonna go pull for a art conceptualized tarot deck, I'm probably gonna go with that one. Strength kind of having the beast overhead and us kind of, this is kind of giving a shadow version of it, that it's like the beast is over conquering us, not necessarily us conquering the beast. That is how it's depicted. So kind of having that submissive side, really letting that like that inner saboteur kind of overthrowing us here. The Hermit, us being inside the lantern and the lantern being the light and the wisdom. I can see how we can kind of pull all this kind of together. The Wheel of Fortune definitely looks like a scrying or an orb of something that we are looking to, or like a roulette wheel. So you can kind of play with it, but it's what are you looking for in the future? That's what I'm kind of getting at. That's the vibe I'm pulling from, is like, what are you looking to get out of the future? And then what are you going to be doing to actually get it? A head on a plate and the scale tipping is a beautiful representation of justice. Hanged Man, this is okay. Not my favorite. There's like, I get that he's upside down, but then where's the discomfort? That idea of the hanged man on the tree tied by the foot is really and then the ring of enlightenment around the head that we see is kind of a key factor. So this is, again, another miss. Beautiful death card. I think this is lovely here. I think this is just a great depiction of death, really pulling into that like historical kind of death card that we're used to seeing, not necessarily the Pamela Coleman Smith illustrated. Temperance, okay. The cups, you can see two vessels here. I guess that's what they're kind of pulling it to, but this is a hard card to see, right? There's nothing. The face is more emphasized than the cups, which I think could have used some more cleaning up or a different art piece. But maybe this was the best that the creator could find for a Temperance. Devil, great. We got an angry little demonic person, but again, really missing that idea of temptation here. It just looks like a horned man. The word devil on it is more important than the image. Tower, this is an interesting idea of a tower that like we've put our own head on a pedestal, right? We've put ourselves or someone on a pedestal, something that has to kind of be overthrown. So I can see where we can pull that. Okay. It's the look on the face and this weird like black hole portal-y thing, like that kind of gives hope. Again, I questioned some of these work and some of these don't, right? And it's like, was this the best option? The moon, okay. We have a moon shape here and a little child's face here. missing the unknown factor here. Yeah, I don't get sun. I don't get joyous. I don't get happy. I don't get dreamlike. Judgment. I want the articulation to be in a different... This looks like falling down. This doesn't look like ascension. This looks like a falling down. And I would love it. Judgment is kind of always an uplifting. Unless this is meant to be like a shadow work deck, right? Which I don't know if it's necessarily meant to. This is giving like a downfall, if you will, not an arising to what you're capable of. The world, it's the laurel wreath, right? You can see the wreath and you can see the individual in there. So that's a great use of kind of finding something to curate the world image that we're used to into this idea. But if it didn't have the wreath with the person in it, I don't think we would have gotten the same effect. All right, Ace of Pentacles, an eyeball, interesting. Two of Pentacles. Okay, you can try kind of say that this makes an infinity and these two objects are the pentacles. Three of Pentacles, okay, we get this idea of like teamwork, who's working with us. Four of Pentacles, it's this gesture of like preservation or preserving. Five of Pentacles, that shut out feeling, that kind of dejected, woe is me kind of feeling. See, this is giving like Seven of Swords energy with the idea of this man carrying this thing away. I'm not getting energy exchange, right? Typically Six of Pentacles, there's an idea of an exchange happening. This looks like he's stealing. Seven of Pentacles. Why did we go to dice? Like, these two out of dice. Weird. Seven of Pentacles, reflection on how far we've come. I guess we can play with that idea with the dice. Eight of Pentacles. 2, 4, 6, 8 in the window here. But this idea of like, what are we learning for our work? That's a pretty hefty book to be reading for research. Nine of Pentacles. Okay, so we played on the falconry that we see in the Nine of Pentacles, but I'm not seeing confidence, right? This bird and the person, because those are images and ideas that we see. It's kind of just, okay, we need a bird and a person. Ten of Pentacles, I don't really see abundance. I see big, scary eyeball. Okay, Page of Pentacles kind of looks like new growth or regrowth, so I can get that. Knight of Pentacles. Nothing really indicates slow and steady to me. Okay. Yeah, the court cards just feel off to me. Ace of Swords. Okay, great. Two of Swords. Okay, kind of see the decision, like something's ending, like a tough decision here between like an old version and a new version. Ooh, okay, this is a beautiful Three of Swords, right? This idea that this person like is like they've got three swords kind of stuck in them, right? It's an interesting take. I do like this, but like, couldn't we have flipped this one upside down, like flipped this person upside down and done this one as the Hanged Man? But I guess the Three of Swords if that's really what they were focusing on, just because he has 3 arrows stuck in him. 4 of Swords, okay, I guess he looks at peace and at rest. But it's, again, very similar to the Tower with this, like, cylinder here. 5 of Swords, I don't get conflict. And, like, are the legs the swords? Okay, 6 of Swords, playing and keeping with the boat. Great connection on how we make transitions. 7 of Swords, again, I think the dice guy says more along the lines of, like, what are you taking? He's not looking like he's... Yeah, he looks like a sinister person, but he doesn't look like he's trying to get away with something. 8 of Swords, okay, this snake is bound, so I guess we have that bound trapment idea. 9 of Swords, okay, this lady, this could be more... This, to me, could have read more as the Star card, right? Because you don't know what this abyss is. Okay. 10 of Swords, okay, the chaos in the mind. I get this. 10 of Swords, overkill. But this could have also been the 9 of Swords. Like, there could have been another dejected, a really down and out person. For the 10 of Swords, this could have been the 9 of Swords, right? All right, Page of Swords with, like, the prickly mind. Okay. Knight of Swords, again, on a horse, moving. Wait a minute. This person is on horseback. There are people chasing. It looks like there are people coming after. This, yes, I get the horse for the knight, because the knights are usually on horses. This could have been a 7 of Swords, because there's the people following, right? I understand that the knights are on horses, but this could have been a great 7 of Swords, because the idea of getting away with something or taking something. Queen of Swords, I get the boundaries, I get protection, I get the, like... Okay, King of Swords energy, this is... It's an interesting take. I can figure out how to make it. Wands. The idea that, like, music or an inspiration is here for this person. Okay, I can see that we're playing with this bubble head motif. So this 2 of Wands, which is usually plans, I can make a callback to the Fool to make that kind of foolish plan to make a change. Yeah, not getting what I usually want for a 3 of Wands here. I want more of this out on the horizon. I don't necessarily see this little outcut of yellow or of, like, white light here as the looking out on the horizon. Okay, the structure in the background is the important part here for this idea of celebration in the 4 of Wands and the grounding of our 4 corners. 5 of Wands, again, this is almost a direct idea of the 5 of Wands that you can find in the Gustave Doré deck that I have. Because the Gustave Doré deck has the 5 of Wands being a person resisting an angel. And I love that idea with the 5 of Wands that we are resisting the spiritual messages that we're getting from things. 6 of Wands, I don't really get leadership or celebration or, like, arising to the moment. 7 of Wands, how is this standing your ground? Okay. 8 of Wands, okay, that movement, but there, like, the idea of movement, but I'm not necessarily seeing wish. I do see travel, but I'm not getting that, like, ooh, goodness is raining down on me. Okay, the idea of the soldier standing strong, being diligent, right? The holding on to the sphere, pulling into that Rider-Waite-Smith kind of imagery. This idea of burdened and like, what are you actually carrying? Are you carrying anything? I get that. Page of Wands. Okay, the idea of the like a wand or an arrow or a bow. Yeah, the court cards are just not my favorite here. Ace of Cups, okay, looking into a pool of emotions probably. Two of Cups, this centaur connection. This is a beautiful commitment. Who are you committing to? That is not anything to me that's going to say coven. Four of Cups is... I don't see waking up to our own self again, like putting ourselves first. Okay, Five of Cups, I get the rejection, the sadness, the need for reflection, right? And looking, are we looking, this kind of looks like he's looking to the past. Okay, the two individuals, I could make a case for this working, not my favorite. Seven of Cups, again, could make a case for it because it's so obscure, we don't know what we're looking at. Which that's kind of the Seven of Cups energy. We don't necessarily know what we're looking at. We have options, but what is it? This doesn't say move on. Again, this could have been a star card. Right? This could have been a star. Because this looks hopeful in a way. That like, yeah, we might have had a little... This could have been the tower, right? This could have been... The rock here could have been the tower that was on... And post-tower, we're like, oh no, my shit's crumbled. I gotta figure out how to move on. And like, yeah, I guess I could just did it with the Eight of Cups, but the Eight of Cups, you see the person having made the decision to go. This person isn't even up yet. They're not standing, right? That's why it's giving more star and hope because they haven't stood up yet. The Eight of Cups has stood up, packed up, and left. There's no leaving yet in this. This is silly. Nine of Cups, which is wishing. It's giving me Humpty Dumpty vibes. It's cute. What are we looking at here? Are we content in our little cup here? It works. Sure, Ten of Cups. Okay. Page. Knight. Queen, King, and then we have our extras here. So we have the Muse, inspiration, right? I call my fans the Muses because not only is my goal to inspire you, but you also inspire me to do this. Genius Loki looks like a little bit of a trickster here. The Chimera, which is a little kind of beast. And all of these are talked about in the book about what they specifically are meant to. But here's the thing, right? We have Loki, which if you kind of know Loki, it's a trickster. So to have two of them, again, these are extra cards that you don't necessarily need to be using in the deck. Let's give it a shuffle. Yeah, this is clumping. I forgot that this clumps, right? Look at, we want an even disbursement. That's not necessarily an even disbursement here. Yeah, so friends, let me know in the comments section below, what do you think of the Tarot Chimera? And a closer little flip through of each of the individual cards is coming up right now, friends. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.